right, what is up, guys? Welcome to the Transparency. Gonna talk about it. P.Diddy. We have a raid going on. It happened about an hour and a half ago.
For live on YouTube. Hey, YouTube, sorry about that. I did not know, and I don't know if they just came to us, but let's do some YouTubing if you guys would like. So if you guys, again, I don't know, and I have no internet, so I can't even really answer your questions or even find out where we've been or what's been going on. But definitely looking at a piece of property that was owned or is owned by P. Diddy or Sean Combs. I don't know him well enough. I'm going to call him Mr. Combs. And Bad Boy Entertainment is his production company. So apparently there is some sort of investigation ongoing involving him, and they had Homeland Security of all things come out here today in force, armored vehicles. These guys dressed like in their full best tactical gear, weapons, night vision goggles, all the whole thing. Drones were flying, and they made their way into this piece of property that you see right there. Now, early on, they took what we counted 6 people out of the home, out of this property. Now, there's actually 3 buildings here. You've got the main house right there. Then you've got this other one that I would almost call a back house, or maybe the pool house or guest house. And then you have a smaller one that's actually behind some trees right over. I would almost venture to say that one, again, I don't know. Who knows what they're using it for? I'm just venturing to guess. But you have another residence over here with a hot tub in the back. Maybe that's actually on somebody that's living on site. That's a caretaker. I don't know. But they got in, and almost right out the box, they got 6 people in custody. All those people actually came out of not the Range Rover, not the Range Rover. That's the first thing they did. They opened up that gate, got in there, and they popped the doors on the Range Rover. They came out of there. They came out of there. I don't know why. I know it's a garage. I have no information. I'm just talking about what we saw when we got here. And one by one, they took.
All right, so some stuff that I want to talk about really quick and let this play. Welcome to the Transparency. I want to take a look at this. This is just an hour and a half ago. P. Diddy's LA home, as well as the Miami home at the same time, raided by Homeland Security. This is into a human trafficking probe. Now, who's talking? How does P. Diddy's name come up in this? And we are doing our due diligence over here, and we are looking into. Remember when P. Diddy came out with that making a band? When he dealt with the little kids, he was putting together and forming like boy bands. Again, this is P. Diddy.
And everybody got cuffs to begin with, and then they started taking off the cuffs, and some were still cuffed. But arrested, I wouldn't use that word. I would say
Detained.
in custody. They had them over here.
They were just
talking
detained.
to them, taking pictures of them, just talking, and then they put them all in a vehicle, and they have since left the scene. Now, I don't know who they were. I can tell you, probably if it would have been Sean Combs, believe me, we would know that. Don't know who those folks were, caretakers, property management, who knows? I honestly could be the pool guy for all I know. But at any rate, we saw that happening earlier on. What's going on right now? Well, a number of those armored guys are still inside this home that you see here, the main building. And I got you on the IFB there if you're hollering at me. So they made their way in there, and it was one of those things. It's like to talk about it on television is a little different than on the internet. One of the main concerns for law enforcement is in a situation like this. So let's say somebody's on that property. Who knows who this person is, but they see armed people coming in through the gates. They don't have any idea what's going on. They don't know that's law enforcement. They don't know that, for all they know, that could be robbers. And so somebody could be hiding in one of these rooms inside here, and that person also could possibly be armed. So that's kind of one of the reasons what's taking so long. They have to secure the building, is what I'm saying, because you don't want to have investigators.
All right, so here's a breakdown of the timeline. At 2:52 p.m., the scene at P. Diddy's Los Angeles home appeared to be winding down. But prior to that, at 1:42, this is p.m. This is Pacific time. I mean, I'm on East Coast time, so I got to add 3 hours, so that'd be three. I'm sorry, 4:42. So at 4:42 p.m., there was footage obtained. TMZ was there as well. And it was TMZ had obtained extra footage of cops on the scene near Diddy's LA area home. And it looks like officers have shut down the entire area with helicopters swarming up above. There are at least 2 choppers. Get to the chopper, head to the chopper. And a lot of police on the ground. A couple minutes before that, again, this would be 1:38 p.m. Pacific time. A rep for the Homeland Security Investigations, so that's what you see as HSI on the backs of those SWAT-looking gear. It says HSI. That stands for Homeland Security Investigations, and the HSI, the New York HSI, executed law enforcement action as part of an ongoing investigation with assistance from HSI Los Angeles, HSI Miami, and our local law enforcement partners. Again, law enforcement sources tell TMZ this case is being handled out of Southern District of New York. Reports say this appears to be tied to sex trafficking allegations, which have been levied against Diddy in recent months from different plaintiffs. Fox 11 has posted video that appears to show several individuals in handcuffs near this property, and a couple of them appear to be Diddy's sons, Justin and King Combs. TMZ has obtained additional footage that shows federal agents rolling up to Diddy's via the water. The video shows armed agents standing on a boat, and they too appear to be armed. Diddy in the crosshairs of law enforcement on both coasts of America as federal agents have descended on his Beverly Hills home. Law enforcement sources tell TMZ that agents for Homeland Security are in the middle of raiding Diddy's properties. There are helicopters overhead, and local law enforcement is also present, although we're told Homeland Security is the lead agency. There are law enforcement walking through the house with guns drawn, and there are people being questioned in the front of the house. We do not know if P. Diddy is present. Law enforcement sources tell TMZ his home on the East Coast is also being raided. We're told the home is in Miami. As you guys know, and if you don't know, there have been multiple allegations in several civil suits against Diddy, including human trafficking, all of which he has denied. They were able to obtain, obviously, they're going in there, they got search warrants. I'm wondering if people are also opening up their mouth in reference to, let's be honest, let's talk about it, Tupac Shakur, Biggie Smalls, Keefe D getting arrested not too long ago.
Doing their investigation in like 4 hours from now and have somebody kick open a door with a gun and start, like, who are you guys? Pop, pop, pop. You don't, and it sounds like I'm poking fun at it, but really, truly, that is the scenario that they're needing to avoid. So that was one of the reasons why it is taking so long. We also were talking about the whole legal ease that goes on about how this even happens. This isn't like somebody said, "Hey, I heard, Sean's got this and this and this and this," or Mr. Diddy or Mr. Combs, has got something going on, and they're just like, "Hey, let's mount up and ride." There was a lot going on before this actually happened. And this is also a coordinated raid. There's also, we understand that they raided his home in Miami as well. I have no idea what exactly they're looking for. I'll be very honest about that. I didn't even know that there was legal issues going on with Sean Combs. And so I honestly don't have any of those kind of components. All I can tell you is right now, this is in the Holmby Hills area. That's his home that you see right there. And now it has a command post out front, and that command post belongs to Homeland Security. You have a number of armored vehicles, most of them belonging to Homeland Security. Got one there, a couple of them in the driveway as well. We did see one, I believe it was a sheriff's vehicle, that has since left the area. but there's still a number of that Homeland Security officers out there. And I'm talking about the soldiers. I'm talking about the boots on the ground type of guys that are still here. And I would venture to say probably in the neighborhood of 40 to 50 of them. And then you also have younger guys, probably, with investigators, and then you also have some suits that arrived eventually, and they all made their way inside that home. That's what's going on right now. Now that we have been talking about this, and I even feel, for me, it doesn't roll off my tongue at all to say that this is all about sex trafficking. And I hear that just kind of recite any, but can't ever know if a lot of television.
Good, they realized that they were having some issues with that. I can't say I'm surprised. People got to be talking, guys. People got to be talking in order to be obtaining these type of, this is search warrants. These are search warrants. People are talking. You don't raid people like this. And especially what also tells me that P.Diddy was not willing to in any way, it seems like, cooperate. But they had to go in her like this. I mean, unless they really had to go about it some other type of way. But if you would want to handle something and work, hey, I want to cooperate. You can go through my lawyers, but I'm willing to cooperate, things like that. Then this wouldn't have happened in my opinion. So Diddy having, his place raided here in Los Angeles as well as Miami. This is Homeland Security is the lead. So Homeland Security, again, this involves, says right now, this is straight up just about sex trafficking. This is wild, but you wouldn't think that something like this would happen if somebody's cooperating. You don't need to do any of this. Usually they'll also try to do things quietly. This is anything but quiet. All right. They went in there blazing, man.
Actually came out of not the Range Rover, That's the first thing they did. They opened up that gate, got in there, and they popped the doors on the Range Rover. They came out of there. I don't know why. I know it's a garage. I have no information. I'm just talking about what we saw when we got here. And
look at this property. This property is
definitely looking at a piece of property that was owned or is owned by P.Diddy or Sean Combs. I don't know him well enough. I'm going to call him Mr. Combs. And
look at that property. Bad Boy Entertainment. Bad Boy. Again, I want to talk about something here. So let's go ahead and take a look at back of the day. As Belle and I were talking, she's like, hey, I think this is a really good time to take a look at P. Diddy's involvement with, if we're going to be talking about possibly underage people, let's talk about, he put together, I think it was called, I want to say, Making the Band. Making the Band, P. Diddy. Yeah. Making the Band is an ABC MTV reality television series that existed in the
Danity Kane
20, it was 2000.
They had done the boy band. He did the boy band. Then he did one with Danity Kane.
12 seasons. So 142 total episodes. They did Making the Band 2, Making the Band 3, Making the Band 4. But so if you think back with the Making the Bands, though, you're dealing with O-Town. Yes. O-Town. Danity Kane. Day 26. Don't even know them. But O-Town, you guys, the pretty boys, O-Town. Justin Bieber, he came out from Usher. Usher was Bieber's boy, right?
I have no clue, but this is important because this is like O-Town was like how it started. Then they brought in the girl group, and that was the Miami thing that they did a lot. They had like a couple seasons in Miami.
Okay, I got all the bands. Here we go. Making the Band was O-Town. That was the first one. Okay, Making the Band 2 was Da Band. Danity Kane was band 3. Band 4 was Day 26 and
Donnie Klain.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then he did Making His Band, and then Making the Band 5.
And there were spin-offs, though.
Ooh, here was a spin-off, yeah.
A lot of spin-offs. Okay. Not Pauly Shore.
What Diddy announced that he was searching for musicians for a Making the Band spin-off titled Making His Band, where he would be searching for guitarists, drummers, backup singers, etc., to form his own personal live band. This new season premiered on July 27th, 2009. Okay. So again, if we go back and we talk about, remember how all the young, like growing and aspiring actors, people have said that the parents of these young kids, like they were kind of like pimping out their kids in a sense. Well, are we seeing this possibly come to light in the music industry? Okay. Wow. But I believe that this is all coming, coming to a head because obviously people are talking and Diddy clearly isn't cooperating. Nobody's getting raided by Homeland Security if you are cooperating in some sense that, yeah, I can meet with my lawyer present, or you guys can talk to in through with my lawyer. I just see that there is no cooperation.
Bad Boy Entertainment is his production company. So apparently there is some sort of investigation ongoing involving him, and they had Homeland Security of all things come out here today in force, armored vehicles. These guys dressed like in their full best tactical gear, weapons, night vision goggles, the whole thing. Drones were flying. And they made their way into this piece of property that you see right there. Now, early on.
Okay, so guys, this started in New York. So this is out of New York. That Los Angeles and Miami, they're cooperating with New York. Okay, so this started in New York. This is happening now. This has been happening. This has been happening over the past. So it started off at 1:38 p.m. West Coast time. So about like 4:38, East Coast time. So it was, just after lunch hour, and then would be going into like the dinner time for the East Coast folks. Again, Sean Combs has been accused of sexual misconduct in multiple civil lawsuits over the past several months. Federal agents from the Department of Homeland Security on Monday raided homes in the Los Angeles area and Miami that a person with knowledge of the case said were connected to Sean Combs, the hip hop mogul, who has been accused of sexual assault and sex trafficking in multiple civil lawsuits over the last several months. In a statement on Monday, in response to questions about news reports of a raid at Mr. Combs' residence, Homeland Security Investigations said, so when you see the HSI on the backs, that's what that is, Homeland Security Investigates. Their response was earlier today, Homeland Security Investigates, which is HSI, New York, executed law enforcement actions as part of an ongoing investigation with assistance from HSI Los Angeles and HSI Miami, as well as our local law enforcement partners. We will provide further information as it becomes available. We were taking pictures earlier. I know Annie Potts was all over it. We have tons of pictures of them literally taking out evidence and placing it on an evidence, like it looks like a pop-up table, and then they're obviously taking logs of what they're taking out. So stuff was coming out of this home, of both homes.
They took what we counted 6 people out of the home, out of this property. Now there's actually 3 buildings here. You've got the main house right there. Then you've got this other one that I would almost call a back house, or maybe the pool house or guest house. And then you have a smaller one that's actually behind some trees right over. I would almost venture to say that that one, again, I don't know. Who knows what they're using it for? I'm just venturing to guess. But you have another residence over here with
Now, in this just released, it's interesting that now they are talking about this. P. Diddy played an integral role in the transformation of hip hop into a global commercial force, crafting hits and larger than life personas for rap and R&B performers like the Notorious B.I.G. and Mary J. Blige, and making smash hits himself with songs like "I'll Be Missing You," yada 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 yada. But then talks about Mr. Combs has also not only is obviously a producer, label executive, and occasional rapper who has been one of the most influential and widely recognized figures in the music business over the last 30 years, to include his producing roles, aka making the band. But Mr. Combs has also been dogged for decades by accusations of violence. In November, he was sued for sexual assault. Cassie, baby, his former girlfriend, who was also signed to his label Bad Boy as the performing artist Cassie. Her name is Cassandra Ventura. In her suit, Miss Ventura accused Mr. Combs of forcing her to engage in sexual activity with male prostitutes over a period of years. The suit said that as a result of those encounters, which took place in a number of cities across the United States, Miss Ventura was a victim of sex trafficking. Boom. Boom.
the hot tub in the back. Maybe that's actually on somebody that's living on site. That's a caretaker. I don't know, but
Miss Ventura's civil suit was settled in just one day, with her and Mr. Combs saying their dispute had been resolved amicably. But her suit was followed by several more cases, each accusing Mr. Combs of sexual assault. In one case filed last month, a music producer, Rodney Jones, said that Mr. Combs had made unwanted sexual contact with him and forced him to hire prostitutes and participate in sex acts with them. Is P. Diddy gay? Is P. Diddy gay?
they got in and almost right out the box, they got 6 people in custody. All those people actually came out of not the Range Rover, not the Range Rover. That's the first thing they did. They opened up that gate, got in there, and they popped the doors on the Range Rover. They came out of there. They came out of there. I don't know why. I know it's a garage. I have no information. I'm just talking about what we saw when we got here. And one by one, they took them, and everybody got cuffs to begin with, and then they started taking off the cuffs, and some were still cuffed, but arrested, I wouldn't use that word. I would say in custody. They had them over here. They were talking to them.
Yeah, I would say that these people were detained. Nobody was arrested. These people are detained. Moving on with this, federal investigators in New York have been leading the investigation, as I stated earlier, and have been conducting interviews with potential witnesses related to Mr. Combs for several months. According to a person familiar with the interviews, Mr. Combs has denied the accusations against him. In December, after an anonymous woman filed a suit accusing Mr. Combs and 2 other men of R-ing her in a New York recording studio in 2003. Bing, bing, bing. What was going on in 2003? Who is this anonymous filer? That's when he was doing all that making the band shit. Mr. Combs and 2 other men of... she was 17 at the time. She was 17 at the time. This is some sick shit. Damn. This is horrible. Sickening allegations have been made against me by individuals looking for a quick payday, says Diddy. Let me be absolutely clear. I did not do any of the awful things being alleged. After Mr. Jones's suit last month, Sean Hawley, a lawyer for Mr. Combs, said Mr. Jones is nothing more than a liar who filed a $30 million lawsuit shamelessly looking for an undeserved payday, and called his accusations pure fiction. Ms. Hawley and 2 other lawyers for Mr. Combs also did not respond to requests for comment on Monday. In a statement on Monday, Douglas Wigdor, a lawyer who represents Miss Ventura, Cassie, and the anonymous woman who sued Mr. Combs alleging the assault at a New York studio, said, quote unquote, "We will always support law enforcement when it seeks to prosecute those that have violated the law. Hopefully, this is the beginning of a process that will hold Mr. Combs responsible for his depraved conduct." So it seems to me that they're cooperating fully with law enforcement and that this has moved on. They had to get the ball rolling somehow, and she went ahead, and these people went ahead and sued him civilly, and now a criminal investigation has begun.
Them, taking pictures of them, just talking, and then they put them all in a vehicle, and they have since left the scene. Now I don't know who they were. I can tell you, probably if it would have been Sean Combs, believe me, we would know that. Don't know who those folks were. Caretakers, property management. Who knows? I honestly could be the pool guy for all I know. But at any rate, we saw that happening earlier on. What's going on right now? Well, a number of those armored guys are still inside this home that you see here, the main building. And I got you on the IFB there if you're hollering at me. So they made their way in there, and it was one of those things. It's like to talk about it on television is a little different than on the internet. One of the
Would love to hear from you guys. Here you go. Invite, copy. If you want to be heard on this matter. Here you go. $1,200 unhappy one-night stands filed a lawsuit. I don't know. All I know is that the girl was 17, 2003. Go back to like that making a band crap. Whoa, alleged sex trafficker P.Diddy was just raided by. Damn. Again, there you go. There's hit that link if you want to be heard. Come on up. Whoa. P.Diddy's got his hands full. I wonder if Keefe D is cooperating in this department and saying, "Hey, let me out of prison, and I got some things to tell you about that night that Biggie Smalls was killed." You know, Biggie Smalls' mom has always had P. Diddy's back when it's come to the death and the murder of her son, Christopher. Curious to see if any of that's going to change here over the next couple weeks, months. So. What is up, Critical? Oh boy. Talking about making a payday quickly. I mean, whoo-wee. Unbelievable. Sick.
main concerns for law enforcement is in a situation like this. So let's say somebody's on that property. You know, who knows who this person is, but they see armed people coming in through the gates. They don't have any idea what's going on. They don't know that's law enforcement. They don't know that for all they know that could be robbers.
What?
And so somebody could be hiding in one of these rooms inside here, and that person also could possibly be armed.
What?
So that's kind of one of the reasons what's taking so long. They have to secure the building, is what I'm saying, because you don't want to have investigators doing their investigation and like
those guys. People think that they're getting robbed. They are like lined with HSI all over, SWAT, police, everything. Wow. guess tax season is also, approaching. You think P. Diddy hasn't been paying his taxes?
Like 4 hours from now, and have somebody kick open a door with a gun and start, like, who are you guys?
Who is this person talking in the choppa? Fox 11, get with it. This guy needs to go. What? This is insane. Who's running the choppa? Again, go and hit that link. Tell me what you think. Come on up here. P. Diddy. Again, I have no idea. This is not my helicopter. This is not my camera guy. No idea what this guy's talking about.
Bob, you don't, and it sounds
But this is
like
hilarious.
I'm poking fun at it, but really, truly, that is the scenario that they're needing to avoid. So that was one of the reasons why it is taking so long. We also were talking about the whole legal ease that goes on about how this even happens. This isn't like somebody said, "Hey, I heard, Sean's got this and this and this and this," or Mr. Diddy or Mr. Combs, has got something going on, and they're just like, "Hey, let's mount up and ride." There was a lot going on before this actually happened. And this is also a coordinated raid. There's also, we understand that they raided his home in Miami as well. I have no idea what exactly they're looking for. I'll be very honest about that. I didn't even know that there was legal issues going on with Sean Combs.
What is he talking about?
I honestly don't have any of those kind of components. All I can tell you is right now, this is in the Holmby Hills area. That's his home that you see right there. And now it has a command post out front, and that command post belongs to Homeland Security. You have a number of armored vehicles, most of them belonging to Homeland Security. Got one there.
What is up, Annie Potts? Talk to me, girl.
Oh my God.
What do you think about this?
I think it's absolutely amazing. It's about damn time.
Yeah, don't you think?
Yep.
Okay, so you don't think it's for tax evasion, right?
Do I what?
I said you don't think it's for tax evasion, right?
No, I don't think it's for tax evasion.
Just making sure we're on the same page. So we were talking earlier, you were sending me hella screenshots. You're like, dude, look at this. They're taking evidence out. They're doing this, they're doing that. So I was going through, our photos. I feel like we just could probably make a movie now. And we showed they were they put up a table and they started logging, they went to the back of the truck. I'm going to try to print these off or save them and put them up, download them. They were bringing stuff out, right?
Yeah, both properties, it appeared. So at the Miami property, they were basically cataloging evidence as they were bringing it out in the back of the truck. But then at the LA residence, they had like a table set up outside. Yeah, and they were like, they were bringing in boxes and bags, and God only knows what they're going to pull out of there. I was waiting to see actual like victims being pulled out or something, rescued,
Yeah, no, I mean, this is wild. I mean, this is, needed. Yeah, what is up? Gonna give a shout out to our 6-year-old guest over there, Nicholas. If you're watching, what is up, my man? I got an 8-year-old, so he's over there playing soccer, doing something fun. But hi, Nicholas.
Did you see the I think it was the LA property? They had a couple of people in custody too.
Yeah, they were. Well, yeah, I'm using the words that they were detained. You know what I mean?
Detained, yeah.
So because they were still on property, I think they were just being detained. And hey, who are you? And I believe that 2 of the people were Diddy's kids, King and Justin.
Justin, the older one, Justin.
Yeah. And so what I just was reading is that this is coming from, the girlfriend's suit settled in one day. And then after that, then people started coming out and filing suit against him. And so we were thinking, do you think that this has a lot to do with, do you think that this started back when he was doing like the Making a Band, when he was, getting his hands on these, younger artists and saying that you can come and be part of my band. You know, he had all those seasons where he was doing making a band, and he did O-Town. He did what was it? Danny Kane. He did.
Yeah, I know that there was a period of time too where he said he had legal guardianship of Usher when he signed Usher to his record label. Usher was a minor at the time. He got legal guardianship of him.
And so, do you remember what year that would have been?
I believe I'm not sure.
I'll go ahead and take a look at.
He was 16, right around 16 or 17 when he got signed. Personally, I believe where HSI agents are involved, something tells me this probably has nothing to do with a lawsuit. It could be information obtained through the lawsuit. But if you've got Homeland Security, you know, I sent you what these agents do and what they're primarily used for. This is definitely, in my opinion, tied 100% to human trafficking.
Yeah, I mean, that's just Usher a victim. I second. Yeah. People are saying, do you think that Usher's a victim? Do you think that Usher, has spoken this? What about Justin Bieber?
Justin Bieber, Aaliyah, all of those. Yeah, they were all victims at some point. Yep.
You think Aaliyah? We're going back to wow.
Absolutely. Aaliyah, R. Kelly, that's why I don't know, like Biggie. As far as I'm concerned, Biggie was the best, and they could try, but they're never going to beat him. Doesn't matter. They took him out, but you're never going to defeat him. He's a legend. He's the king.
Yeah. So we trust the agencies now, says Baxter. No, we trust the victims, right? This is a victims thing. So I don't know if I want to say I trust the agencies, guys. I'm trusting, and I'm like, but P.Diddy is 100% innocent until proven guilty. 100% until proven guilty. But what we're bringing up here is that we're not talking about murder here. We're not talking about murder. Okay, this isn't a murder case. This is a repetitive. What we have seen here is basically, based off the lawsuits here, we're talking about somebody that was, what basically people are calling him as a predator, more or less, right? And that they were not of age and forced to do X, Y, and Z. But this is a murder case here. But everybody is innocent until proven guilty. So do I believe in the agencies? No. Right now, I'm going to believe in these victims. They're the ones that are coming forward and saying X, Y, and Z. So I don't know how you can prove how they can prove this.
Well, I think a lot of it too has to do with what agency are we talking about? Because when it comes to Homeland Security, Homeland Security took over a lot of the operations of ICE. And a lot of people believe that ICE just has to do with immigration and customs enforcement, and it's not. ICE was primarily used for the specific taking down of human trafficking rings and rescuing victims. That's literally what they're for. So
I have a question for you.
It has nothing to do with trusting the agencies as more as it has to do with if you have these agencies who directly involve themselves with rescuing trafficked human beings. Yes, I believe them. I believe that they likely have enough probable cause in this scenario to raid both of these properties.
Yeah, I'm thinking that. So that was what I wrote up here is that the evidence against P.Diddy. So what evidence are they looking for? What are they looking for? What do they think they're going to find? So what evidence are they looking for? What evidence could there possibly be that could prove these allegations true? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think that they're going to probably be able to give some specific dates on where people were, right, and what was going on. And then normally, if you can have multiple people that were at the same place giving the same account. So I don't know what evidence is going to be in this home unless Diddy kept a diary and was writing about it. I don't know. So I'm interested to know what someone says.
Well, I've done a little bit of digging, and what I've been able to find is that these specific, I guess you could say, allegations are actually coming out of the Homeland Security office in New York.
Yeah, that's who started. That's their investigation. Yep.
Right. And basically what it is they believe that evidence of the crime, whatever that crime may be that they're investigating, they believe evidence of that crime would exist at these properties.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't necessarily mean there's a crime occurring currently, but they do believe that evidence from the crime they're investigating exists at these properties.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's what I'm trying to explain, is that they went in there thinking that they could obtain stuff through digital media files. If his whole place has always had cameras, if the studios had cameras, if they were mic'd up, who saved those? Did anybody, hey, I made a copy of that back in the day and I still have it. You got to get with this person. Possibly flight logs. But at the end of the day, I believe if you're going to have multiple people that are able to say, like if I was with you, Annie, and shit went down and I know what happened to you and I'm willing to come forward and you're telling the same thing that I'm about to tell. And we did it with, on two different, I hadn't talked to you in so long, but you said, hey, so-and-so was there. Please go talk to them. They know. And then I came forward and, was like, okay, what happened on this night? So I think that there's possibly going to be a lot of that if he was doing things, if there's multiple people.
Well, whatever evidence,
I'm sure P.Diddy wasn't by himself, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Whatever evidence they were in there collecting was enough that they were bringing in big ass duffel bags and boxes and, manila envelopes and all kinds of stuff like that. So I don't think it's just hard drives or things. I mean, they were bringing in some pretty big boxes.
Mm-hmm. Well, so this is just, people have been saying this is a long time coming. People are saying that Diddy is the Epstein for the music industry. So that's interesting. Those two ever hang out?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did they?
Yeah. They sure did.
Wow. Right?
I don't know if they hung out privately together. I do know there's lots of like public, parties in New York and shit they were at together.
Yeah. Yeah. Good old Epstein was in Columbus a lot. And I was talking about that with the Abercrombie Fitch in the Victoria's Secret being right here is where.
Yeah. Lex Wexner and all that. Yeah.
Yeah. That. Want to know how many of those models got on those planes? They were young, man. You guys remember those bags? They had all those kids on them. Those kids look so young. But I mean, it's wild, right?
It's about time that, as far as I'm concerned, I don't really care when it comes to the trafficking of human beings. I don't care how rich you are. I don't care if your name is Diddy. I don't care if you're Jay-Z. You know what I mean? You need to be sitting in prison for the rest of your life if you're involved in it or profiting off of it. Absolutely.
And like I said, everybody's, innocent of proving guilty. And, but this seems like it's been a long time coming with, I don't know. Like I do know what it's like when people try to like, okay, hey, we can claim this, that, or the other and see if we can get a quick payday and what have you. Like when all that stuff came out about Michael Jackson, like Michael Jackson was one of my favorites, growing up. So, this is just wild.
Mm-hmm. It is wild. It is wild.
I think that he should have his day in court. I don't think that he would have gotten raided like this if he wasn't like cooperating in some, here, what do you guys want? So I don't believe that Sean Diddy was cooperating because nobody would go, you're not going to go and do this to somebody if you don't have to, like, hey, we want X, Y, and Z. So,
yeah. And it did look like too from the sky view, like the chopper up above when they first arrived, when SWAT first arrived at the LA property, there was a suit, a guy in a suit that rolled up in a Range Rover, and he was out there, and you could see like the SWAT guys and the police guys like giving him paperwork. I'm like, oh, there's the lawyer.
Give a shout out here, Lana. We love your stuff. Really hooked on the Idaho Forum Brian Drake content. Oh, I got some bomb ass stuff I'm dropping tonight with that kind of as a whole with what ISP has been doing. So thank you for that. Keep up the good work on everything you do. Oh, I appreciate their Boggs and Mets talk. So thank you. Right there, I paused it because I wanted to show you guys. What do you think about? Does that pool look dirty, or is it just not? Like, I mean, is it out of season? Somebody wanted me to show that pool right there and see if it was right there. There you go. What do you think?
I mean, I will say it's definitely, there's a lot of like coincidences happening, I guess you could say, in regards to like Hollywood, the music industry, even in the political sphere. You've got prime ministers and stuff stepping down and resigning left and right. The Boeing CEO just announced he's going to be leaving. You got a lot of these people that appear to just be running for the hills. And you know what? I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I want to see all of these crooked, corrupt, evil, weirdo people gone from society. I want them to just disappear, like leave, resign, go away.
I don't know. I think it's a pool because I think there's a hot tub that's off of it right there, that circle. So I think it's just not been treated in terms of like they haven't, put the treatment in there. Sorry, I was responding to somebody. This is the
They probably
LA.
don't use the pool. They probably don't use the pool.
Yeah. Let's see what the new update is here. Authorities were conducting a raid inside of a multi-million-dollar home belonging to rapper and recording producer Sean Diddy Combs, and it's the West LA section of LA. Homeland Security investigations executed search warrants at the LA mansion as well as a Miami property belonging to Combs, sources told NBC. The raid may be linked to a possible sex trafficking investigation. Another source familiar with the matter told NBC News. The source added 3 Jane Does and one John Doe. They have been interviewed by the Southern District of New York in relation to the SA, the solicitation and distribution of illegal narcotics and firearms related. Damn. Now we got some Jane Does up in here.
Yeah, it's basically it sounds like it's the record label is a front for how they actually make their money. maybe the music does make them a bunch of money.
Maybe that's why all these rappers were going broke.
Are the real commodity.
The reason all these rappers were going broke, they didn't have any money, and he's making his money this way.
No, yeah, the humans are a real commodity. Unfortunately, sadly.
Well, it's ugh. Yeah. I just think it's sick. I just think like, where the F is Narcy disgrace and where are they? I need to give them a call today.
I know it's nuts, but like this is something that people in the who are advocates that are in part of these anti-human trafficking groups across the country. You know what I mean? There's a reason that they say, unfortunately, sadly, disgustingly, human beings, children especially, are a commodity. They're worth more than the actual dollar because it's drugs. Like, yeah, you could sell drugs, but if people keep ODing on your drugs and dying, whereas when it comes to trafficking, it's like one person can be used over and over and over and over again. It's disgusting. That's what these people do. I'm not saying that's what he was doing. I'm saying that that's what's alleged. And based on what we know of other high-level people who've been busted in the past, it appears to be the same MO.
Yeah.
Sick.
It is. It's really gross. It's hard to think about, especially like you're supposed to be a role model. You know what I mean? Like you're in a position that like it would just be it'd be so easy to do this type of crap too because of who you are. And I just think, what type of influence you would have. And I don't know, it makes me sick. But
Rotor will probably be all over this.
I should call him up, put him on speaker, and be like, "Hey, did you see that? Let's see if he answers. Let's see what he's up to."
Ask him about the adrenochrome.
Let's see, Scotty, baby. Hey, let's give him a call.
Oh my
She'll
God,
love
this is like
this.
right up his. This is all up in his wheelhouse.
Yeah, let's see.
Scott. He's like, oh shit.
He's like, what is Lana up to right now? P. Diddy rated. I said, P. Diddy rated your chance to shine, my man.
Yeah, maybe it's about time that
Damn it. He's probably on the golf course. He'll call me right back. I said,
Well-
P. Diddy was rated. It's your chance to shine. Let's go.
there you go, exactly. That's hysterical.
Who's? Call his lawyer. All right, we're gonna call P. Diddy's lawyer.
Oh Jesus! Would you like to give us a statement?
Yeah, we'll see. He might do it.
I'm sure that his phone is probably blowing up. Every news agency in the country is trying to get in touch with his lawyer right now for a statement.
Well, we might as well join them. Let's see. Okay.
Well, on a different note, right, pertaining to federal agencies raiding people's homes, I got did you happen to see the thing I sent you with the affidavit of probable cause for the ATF search warrant for the Clinton airport executive that had a firefight with the ATF? The probable cause of affidavit for this raid, insane. It's 48 pages, something like that. 50 pages almost. A lot of it's redacted, but what they are claiming this man was doing is absolutely insane if any of it's true.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna call right now. I'm gonna put it on speaker. Hold on. All right, let's see if we can get a statement.
For calling Hillary Jones, trial lawyer. How may I help you?
Hey, I'm trying to reach Kenneth Macilas.
Kenneth. So we are the attorney's office. Have you reached the right place?
Yeah, you're the attorney's office?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, for P. Diddy?
We are Hillary Jones, trial lawyer.
Okay, so then I've reached the wrong phone number?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and check my Rolodex again.
Have a good day.
Okay, thank you so much. Well, that was not P. Diddy's attorney. His attorney's a female. I have his attorney as a female.
Did she say she's whose trial lawyer? Hillary's? Is that what she said? I'm Hillary's trial lawyer? I swear to God, that's what it sounded like she said.
I also want to make everybody known this. You guys have been following my coverage with Riley's case, or I guess you could say, disappearance. Then he was found in the Cumberland River in Tennessee. Well, my sources that I spoke to personally, Riley's family is getting a independent autopsy. So just so everybody knows, I know that they were talking about that and making comments somewhere else, but Riley's family is getting their own autopsy, which you always want to do. You want to get an independent autopsy, and I'm so fucking happy that they're doing that. Just want to put that out there.
Yeah, agreed.
They're closed.
I think it's always
East
important.
Coast. All right, I'm gonna call Nancy Grace. What's that broad's name? We said her name was Tara Boise, lawyer, Idaho. Let me call her. Yeah, Tara Malik. Okay, here, honey. Malik. Gonna call her and ask her if she's willing to come on my show so we could talk about. I saw her on Nancy Grace, and I just thought that she was so well prepared. Little Tara. Okay, here we go. All right.
With the glasses.
No. This was the other one.
Oh.
Okay, so I'm going to give her a ring-a-ding. Oh, Boston, you don't want to leave just yet. Girl, it's about to get heated in here.
Thank you for calling Smith & Malik. Our office hours are Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. If you have reached
only
us during
4:21
normal
there.
business hours, we are either with a client or on the other line.
Good.
Please leave a message with your name, the phone number where you can be reached, and the person you wish to speak to, and we will return your call. Thank you and have a great day. Please leave a message after the tone.
Hello. Yes, I am trying to reach Tara. I believe it's Tara or Tara Malik. And this is Lana Oriani with Truth and Transparency. This is a criminal investigator and researcher. And I was wondering if I could get a minute of your time to ask you some questions about, I got to see you on Nancy Grace's broadcast. And I just had some questions for you based off of your, I guess you should say, interview or your contribution to the panel. Really interested in who your sources are with the information that you were speaking on as what I deemed as facts. So again, my name is Lana Oriani, and I can be reached at cell phone number looking forward to hearing from you. And again, thank you for your time, and we will chat soon. Yeah, how about that? It's 5:21. I live in Boise. Oh, fucking great. You guys are on the other side of the Idaho. Yeah, that's true. They're only 2 hours behind. Damn it.
I hope she calls you back and is willing to actually, yeah.
She's going to call me back. I'm an investigative reporter. I got some questions.
I mean, it's actually, when you think about it, it's kind of crazy, right? When you see that certain factions of like the media seem to be, did you see that where this ex-FBI agent who allegedly worked the case came out and made a statement about how it's printed. All of the evidence connecting him to the crime is printed all over his cell phone data. That's what this person said. And allegedly, this person is one of the FBI agents that worked on the case.
Well, here, we're going to do one other phone call here because I'm going to try to get him before the day's over. I'm calling here. His name is David Winey, who is the fire chief in Bonners Ferry. So I want to get a statement on the record if I can. Let's see. I want to ask him about that Avista, as well as Dr. Moore committing suicide or attempting to.
Fire Chief Dave Winey
Is not available. After the tone, please record your message. When finished, you may hang up to deliver the message or press pound for more options.
Hey, how you doing there, Dave Winey? This is Lana Oriani with Truth and Transparency Investigative Reporting, and wanted to touch base with you on a 2020 incident where you were called out for a gas leak on March the 15th, 2020, over there at Moore Chiropractic. And I have a report here that says you did an interview with Detective Sergeant Van Leuven, as well as Detective Rich Alderson. And it's come to my amazing astonishment here that you were actually not audio or video recorded. And I would like to make you aware of what the statements are that Detective Sergeant Van Leuven and Detective Rich Alderson are claiming you said. And that would be that you believed that Dr. Moore's chiropractic gas leak was, in quotes, it was very unusual, and that you had never been to a similar gas leak before, and that you described the tightness of the fitting as being just finger tight, which, again, you then are quoted as saying that you heard Coroner Mick Millett say that this leak must have been a slow leak where the gas built up in the basement. And you were the one that advised Detective Sergeant Van Leuven and Detective Alderson that, guess what, guys, natural gas rises. So I really have a lot of questions for you as your report, the written up report, not your words. So I want to check and make sure that these are your words, but that you believe that this was an actual attempt at suicide by Dr. Moore. So if you can give me a call back at your earliest convenience, I would like to speak with you before I do my reporting on it. Again, you can reach me at talk to you soon. All right. Just taking care of some things here.
He's going to listen to that voicemail and be like, oh, my word.
Well, then you can get a subpoena for all I care. We're going to find out. We're going to get to the bottom of it. I got a lot of people to call today, so I'm just checking it off over here. Next up is Brian Scrimshire. Let me just give Brian Scrimshire a call. Now, this was the Avista employee who was railroaded there by Detective Alderson and Detective Sergeant Van Leuven. So, going to see if he has any comments to the alleged gas leak that he said he did not follow up with. So is he aware the language that's being used by these other, people? So let's go ahead and take a call in here. 67. All right. Next up is Brian.
Yeah, this is Brian with the Vincent. Sorry, I will take your call. Leave me a short, detailed message. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. If this is an emergency or need immediate assistance, call 1-800-227-9187. Thank you.
At the tone, please record your message.
Does anybody work?
When you finish recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Yeah, this is a message for Brian. Glad I got the right number here. Looking to talk with you. My name is Lana Oriani, and I am an investigative journalist. And I am covering the Brian Drake homicide as well as the railroading of Dr. Daniel Lee Moore with that homicide. And you were the one that responded to the gas leak. And I have some quotes that the ISP detectives put next to your name. And that would be things to the likes of, to the effect of that you believe that Dr. Daniel Lee Moore's office with that gas leak back in March 15th of 2020, you said that it is your opinion the gas fitting was intentionally loosened. Now, I actually read through the transcripts of your interview with the detectives, and you were adamant that you never got a chance to talk to Daniel Lee Moore, so therefore you could not speak on what you think, and you also did not see any tools that would have been indicative if needed to actually loosen that fitting. So I would really like to speak with you before I write up and do my piece on this aspect of my investigating and reporting. I think that you made some really good points in your interview with the ISP detectives, and they, I believe, are misrepresenting your statements, and I want to make you aware of it. So if I could please get in touch with you, I want to give you the report that Michael Van Leuven, Detective Michael Van Leuven, wrote up and is basically assigning you as this 30-year expert, saying that this was a suicide attempt. When I believe you said in all of your 30 years of working, you've never seen anybody try to commit suicide this way. So again, need to speak with you. Looking forward to it. Talk to you soon. You can reach me on my cell phone. All right, guys, just doing some house cleaning there. Now, tried to call P.Diddy's lawyer. They're not in. We got the wrong number, but then we had to call the right number, and they're not there. So I do want to drop the link here as the Dark Horse wants to be heard, and I want to make sure that I give you that opportunity there, love. Let me see. Here we go. Annie, what'd you think about that 1-2 punch there?
Fantastic. Fantastic. You know I love it when you make phone calls.
Wait till you see what I've uncovered. I'm unleashing it again tonight. I got more where it's coming from. And all I have to say is I've been making it known that Jennifer Drake, you need to get the best criminal defense attorney out there. I am not going to be able to be your researcher, though. But I am giving you a heads up. I would definitely get on it and hire one of the best criminal defense attorneys. But there's that link.
I hope the gentleman you just called actually gets back to you, because that would be very interesting if, they are assigning his expertise and whatnot.
No,
and in fact,
I want to make sure that
no.
he is so unaware of it. It's not even funny, because he was specifically stating that in his 30 years he's never, had somebody try to. That's not even how you can do it. Next up, I know people want me to call Nancy Grace and Chris McDonough, and I just called that Tara woman. The reason you can hear that wind is Annie Potts is up there in that helicopter.
Well, I'm going to jump down, obviously.
All right, we love you, girl.
Yeah, I love you.
All right, I'll talk to you here soon. All right, lover. Again, guys, welcome to the Transparency. If you just joined us, been trying to get in touch with people. People don't like to be asked questions, and I don't understand it. When you want to come out and say stuff, you stand by your word. But tonight, please join me. There is a case that I've been working on since last summer, and it involves Idaho 4 case, but it also involves another case out of Idaho. It involves an agency, y'all, that has been burying. I want to show you guys how they buried reports, how they buried evidence, how they, in a sense, tampered with an investigation. They're doing it themselves, and you have to ask yourself, why? Why do they care? Why would anybody on the Idaho State Police Department agency care who and like the truth on what happened with Brian Drake? Well, I think I found something, and I want to show it to you guys, because you have to link somehow why the cops would care. Okay, there has to be something there. Lana, please call that lady on Nancy Gray's panel that was sitting on her toilet. Can I get her name? I could call her. I called Tara. What's her name? I called her. I'll call the other one here if you have her name. I thought she was a pathologist. Was she a pathologist? I think she was sitting on her toilet, though. Yeah. I love Annie. Annie Potts is so passionate. Like, that's great. But I did track down some other people. I mean, I just cannot believe what this detective tried to pull, and I just cannot wait to literally just. Also, I have another emerging witness. Brian Drake came on to hit on, tried to go out and have drinks, and in this, it was a patient in Bonners Ferry. Then she just abruptly stops using him and his services and goes back to Dr. Moore because he is trustworthy, and he's a great guy. But then they tried to ruin this girl's credibility, and I can't wait to show you guys So I'll be talking about that here at the top of the hour. So let's see. Again, P.Diddy place being raided, human sex trafficking. This is just disgusting. Again, innocent though until proven guilty. So, yeah, so you need to get up on the Drake case. I was able to find it and do the research based on the Idaho 4 case because it involves the same agency. Because I was looking into the training records of these law enforcement agencies that Ann Taylor was looking for. She wanted their training records. So I started looking into these specific names, and then that's how I was able to come across the Brian Drake case. But potty talk. Yeah, literally. Heard Jay-Z had a plane waiting for him. Is that true? No idea. No idea. I didn't hear that yet. But we did just get confirmation that Kenneth, his law firm, is closed right now. So they are past hours. He's East Coast. So that's what I have. Again, this is all the footage from earlier today, just a couple hours ago, outside of P. Diddy's place in LA. The same thing was going on in Miami. So that's what's going on over there. And again, this has to do with Dave Chappelle told us. Now that is funny. Dave Chappelle is going to be a state's witness here against P. Diddy. But my jokes seem to go viral. Didn't even realize they weren't jokes. You know? So, anyone surprised Mace left to become a minister? That's what you were talking about earlier. He was my favorite, you know. And then he came back just for a hot second. He probably was like, "Get up, out! I am not doing these escapades that you got me doing here, Diddy." So, no, thank you guys. Join me here. Again, like I said, at the top of the hour, I'm kicking off a new thread. Want to keep things separated. So please, those of you guys that are following me with this, come follow me with the Drake case. I'm telling you that Idaho 4 case, we need to truly look at the people that are investigating that case and why things would be so messed up. Idaho State Police, man, I got some things to show you guys. And how they went about, I don't know if you want to call it a botch job. I don't know if you want to call it inept. I don't know if you want to call it corruption. You can pick and choose what you want to call it. I'm just simply saying it could be all of it bundled up nice in a big fat, gift box with a bow on it, and it's all of it. But this is the same agency that did the Idaho 4 case. Gary Tolson. That's how I got there, Gary Tolson. A woman got $1 million in 3 weeks from her life insurance policy, and then they didn't even start investigating the case yet. So, yep, Daddy Diddy has been paying people to drop charges on him, probably. So, all right, guys. Until we meet again. Thank you so much. Be kind to one another. And thumbs up the video, thumbs it down. You're going to have an opinion. Make yourself known. Make yourself known.